Hello, welcome to Mr. B's Ukulele channel. Please like and subscribe, and I hope you enjoy watching.
This is my tutorial for Rivers of Babylon, originally created in 1978 by Boney M, and I'm releasing this video this year to remember the whole band, and in particular their music producer Frank Farian, who died at the beginning of this year. Now this is a nice easy song to learn. There's only 5 chords in the whole song. It's quite a nice smooth flowing song, although some of the lines of lyrics are quite bold and strong, and you've got to make sure you're singing them correctly. So maybe just listen to the original, make sure you're familiar with how it goes, and then we can get into this and learn the song together. So we'll have a look at those chords first of all. We'll look at the different strumming patterns. There are a few different strumming patterns, although they're actually very easy to do, so there's nothing complex there. So we'll do the chords, then the strumming, and I'll give you a bit of a walkthrough and have a quick look at the layout and finish with the demo. Okay, here we go. So the song has 5 chords. We have a C, a C7, an F, a G, and a G7. And that's your lot. So once you've mastered those, it's actually really easy to pick up. And the only challenge in the song is really making sure you're singing the lyrics correctly and getting the melody lines right, because they are quite diverse in the sort of whether they go up or they go down there, and they're not that repetitive. Although the Rivers of Babylon is very straightforward to sing, the 2 verses in between both have completely different lines of melody, so you need to have a good listen to those with the original. So yeah, it's just those 5 chords. Let's have a very quick look at them. So if you're a beginner, this is a song you can pick up quite easily. Our C chord is on our 3rd fret on the A string, and don't forget to use your 3rd finger, which is why there's a number 3 in the box on the diagram. And the C7 is your 1st finger, hence number 1 in the circle, 1st finger on the 1st fret of the A string. Then we've got the F chord, our 2 fingers on the 1st and 2nd fret, 1st finger on the E string, 2nd finger on the top G string. Then we've got the G, 3 fingers, 1st finger and 2nd finger both on the 2nd fret, 1st finger on the A string, 2nd finger above it, 2 strings up on the C string, 3rd finger at the side on the E string. That's on the 3rd fret there. That's your G. And then we have the G7, which is very similar but has our 1st finger on the 1st fret on the E string. Then our 2nd and 3rd fingers now on the 2nd fret, with our 2nd finger on the C string and our 3rd finger on the A string. Now you don't do the G and the G7 together, so that makes this song quite an easy one. So you're really just going to the G or the G7 in different places in the song. So it's quite a nice easy one, really just C, F and G, or C, F and G7 for most of it, with the occasional C7 thrown in as well. So the chords are nice and straightforward. Let's have a look at the strumming where there's a bit more variety, and we'll look at where that goes. So with the strumming, there are 2 main strums for 2 different parts of the song, and then there's a couple of other variations we just need to pick up on as well. So the main song where we sing "By the Rivers of Babylon," we're doing that with a sort of standard down, down, up, down, up lilt. Here we go. So if we do that on the C chord, 2 downs, 2 ups, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. And for this one, make sure we're using our index finger to strum with. That's a nice, easy finger to strum with for this pattern. Down, down, up, down, up. By the rivers of Babylon, where we sat down. And you can hear how easily that flows. Now, the piece doesn't start with that because there's a nice introduction with a bit of humming. I do like a bit of humming with the ukulele. It's very, very nice to do. So the piece starts like this. Just works on the C and the G7, and then you do that twice at the start of the song, and that's a very simple variation on the down, down, up, down, up pattern. We've got down, up, down, up, down, up, with a small gap. Basically we've taken that second strum out. So instead of going down, down, going down, pause. So there's a small gap just to let that hang in the air nicely. So down, up, 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 down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. So you just have to put that pause in after the first down, and that flows really nice. And you do that with the humming, as I did just now. Works really nicely, and then you switch into the Rivers of Babylon with the main down, down, up, up, down, up pattern. However, there's a little transition just at the start of the song, so we don't do this anywhere else. If you look at the sheet music, I've just put by the Rivers of Babylon, the first time we sing that, in red, by the Rivers of, just those words in red. And I've put to the side of that three little shapes, which are sort of splat shapes. That's for tapping the ukulele. I always use those shapes for tapping on the side of your ukulele. So it's going to go like this. By the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down. And that's the only time you use that. Otherwise it's a bit of a difficult transition from the humming into the main strumming pattern. So we just finish that, the humming, and then 3 taps. By the rivers of Babylon. And you'll see the word Babylon comes after a yellow C. So when we hit the C chord, we are playing that strumming pattern. It's just literally 3 taps with the by the rivers of Babylon. So that should be nice and straightforward. And then the only other thing in the song, you'll see there are some words coloured in blue. If you have a look at my song sheet, don't forget my sheet music is always available to download from my Dropbox account, and the link to that is always in the description of each video. And if you have a look at the sheet music, you can see I've colour coded in blue the words "when we remembered Zion." But it's just the words "when we remembered," and that's for that. We just go down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Yeah, we wept. That's the wrong pattern, sorry. Down, down, up. Yeah, we wept when we remembered Zion. Yeah, we wept. Normal pattern. Then down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. When we remembered Zion. And we switch back on the word Zion. So we're doing the down, down, up, down, up on the yeah, we wept, and then we switch when we remembered, and then we switch back on Zion. Yeah, we wept, switch when we remembered Zion, switch back on Zion, and then we can. So that you'll see on the sheet music every time we sing that line, when we remembered, it just gives it a bit more emphasis. When we remembered Zion. Okay, so that's the strumming and the 4 bits of the strumming, including the tapping there. But nothing difficult about that. And hopefully on the sheet music, you'll find that really easily colour-coded so you can follow that nice and simply. Okay, let's do a quick walkthrough of the song and look at the layout. Okay, so the song starts with the humming, which we've already done. I won't go over all of that again. Let's just do the second part of that. So it's on the second repeat of the humming. C chord. G7. Back to the C. And then we slap 3 times by the rivers of, and then into the main lilting pattern. Babylon. There we sat down, and that's all on the C chord. Then we switch to the G chord. Yeah, we wept. And now we change to the blue pattern. When we remembered, back to C chord for Zion. Zion. And that's where we switch back to the lilting pattern again. By the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down. Yeah, we G7 wept, change strumming. When we remembered, back to the C and the other strumming. Zion. There the wicked, all in the C chord, carried us away in C7 here. Captivity, rear F, required from us. Back to the C song. Now how shall we sing the Lord's song in a G? Strange sea land that the wicked just repeats that 2 lines. Carried us away in C7 captivity. F required from us a C song. Now how shall we sing the Lord's song in a G to C? Strange land. Then straight back into the humming. To the G7 and back to the C. Now we go into the second verse. So we just do the strumming pattern once. The humming pattern once that time. Now we go back to into the second verse, staying on the C chord, and back to the main lilting strumming pattern: down, down, up, down, up. So. Let the words of our G chord mouth and the medits back to the C station of our G heart be C chord acceptable in thy G chord side here tonight on the C. Same again. Let the words of our mouth and the meditation of our heart be acceptable in thy sight here tonight by the rivers of Babylon. Then go back into the main chorus, which we are hopefully comfortable with. If we have a quick look at the layout of the song, we can see all of what we've just sung, starting with the double humming pattern at the beginning, the main chorus with the 3 taps in red by the rivers of Babylon, then the first verse, there the wicked carried us away, and then the humming again, and then the second verse, let the words of our mouth. And then we can see how it finishes with the chorus by the rivers of Babylon twice at the end. And if you listen to the song, there is a little bit more to the ending, but it's hard to replicate the whole band on the ukulele. So I thought we'd just finish with the chorus twice at the end, and you just fade out at the end of the song. And it's relatively straightforward, nice, easy one to follow. It's really just those 2 verses. There the wicked carried us away in captivity. And then the second one, let the words of our mouth. Just be really clear in your head how those go, and probably listen to the original to get that really nice and in your head there to follow. But the rest of the song is really easy to put together. So I'll finish with the demo, and I hope you enjoy learning this great song. Thanks for watching. Of our mouth and the meditations of our heart be acceptable in thy sight here tonight. Let the words of our mouth and the meditation of our heart be acceptable in thy sight here tonight. By the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down, yeah, we wept when we remembered Zion. By the rivers of Babylon, where we sat down, yeah, we wept when we remembered Zion. By the rivers of Babylon, where we sat down.